Welcome everybody to the newest episode of Wealth for Generations. We are on episode number 32. There's a great number. If you guys remember, I'm sure everybody in this room can remember the great, awesome Urban Magic Johnson, number 32. That's number 32, one of the greatest to do it. But today I am excited that we are here today. Like I always say, once we're in the studio, I always feel good because we're doing something, we're being consistent and getting it in. So first and foremost, I would like to introduce to you all my engineer of all engineers, Mr. Dip to the Lean.
Good morning. Good morning.
Is it afternoon? It's
Afternoon. I'm
Could be morning somewhere, and
it's morning somewhere. Just not here.
just not here. And then we are also accompanied today by the beautiful Miss Hope of Sitting Pretty V Suite.
Good afternoon.
The mic.
Oh, the mic a little. Pull it up a little bit.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Awesome. So how are we doing today, everybody?
Doing good, man. I can't complain, bro.
No.
It could be worse.
It could. It definitely could. We could be still in restriction of COVID, locked up in the house.
Right. Right.
That could be reality still.
Man.
I'm glad that's over.
That
over.
didn't seem like reality. It seemed like a movie when that stuff was happening, but it still seems like a blur. You know the truth, man. But hey, we made it. So some of us did anyway.
And how are you doing today, Miss Hope?
I am awesome and amazing.
Awesome and amazing. I
Love
like
it.
that. I like
I
that.
love
I
it.
love it. Yes. All righty. Well, let's get into our show today. Today, our topic is treat yourself. So make sure that you guys are taking that time in your entrepreneurial journeys to take care of yourself as well. So it's going to be a self-care episode today. We're not going to keep it too broad. We're going to be focusing on Mrs. Hope's business. And but we'll get to that in just a second. I gotta build up some suspense and keep you guys on your toes out there to see what we're talking about. But first and foremost, we're gonna get into one of my favorite segments, the first segment of the show that we always do, which is Health is Wealth. So today, on Health is Wealth, the Health is Wealth segment is brought to you by Moss Boss Organic Enriched Gel. Boom. Get your order of CMOS ASAP. You can contact Jessica Marrero on Facebook at Jessica with one S Marrero, Marrero, or on IG at Moss Boss Organic Gel, or you could even email her at mossbossog@gmail.com. So today, let's see what she has for us. Today, we're going to be talking about health benefits of fresh pressed juice. And shout out to her new, um, I guess it's technically you can call it a new business. She just officially partnered up with her event partner, and they are calling themselves Elevated Souls.
All right.
So Miss Legendary Rose, I'm not sure if you viewers out there remember, we did have Miss Legendary Rose here. She does hair, she does juices, she makes her own jewelry. She's a very talented woman. It's been a while, so I'm not sure if you guys all remember, but her and Jess teamed up and they are now Elevated Souls, and they're actually out at the Tanger outlets today, getting their setup done and selling that CMOS and selling that fresh pressed juice. So let's see what the health benefits of fresh pressed juice that you could get from Elevated Souls. So this is the process of pressing raw fruits and vegetables into a juice, leaving behind the fiber. Juice from fruits and veggies are structured, or I'm sorry, juice from fruits and veggies is structured water, the most bioavailable water for the human body. This water is packed with vitamins, minerals, and enzymes. Fresh juice can also be used medicinally, and it is very cleansing for the body and offers support for your organs. Health benefits of fresh cold pressed juice are endless, but here's a highlight of, oh, I didn't know she was going to drop that in there, but here's a highlight of Miss Legendary Rose's Beat It juice. Beets, orange and lemon makes for a great combination and great for the whole family. Benefits of drinking this particular juice are as follows, but not limited to: health with inflammation, contains antioxidants to fight disease, helps with blood sugar levels, lowers blood pressure, and it is very rich in vitamin C. So that is what she has for us today. Do you, Miss Hope, partake in any fresh pressed juices by any chance?
Sometimes, not
Sometimes.
consistently, but sometimes when I need extra pick me up, a
Mhm.
push, a detox, things like that, I will. But just as a daily, no.
No, yeah, me either. I'm kind of the same way.
Well, let me kind of correct
Excuse me.
myself there because
Mhm,
um, I drink and I serve in my suite. That's what we call it.
mhm,
Um, Spring water
mm.
and cucumber mint, fresh cucumbers and mint. So
Oh,
everybody gets cucumber mint water that
and that
comes
is
into
a
my place of
very
business.
refreshing, combination as
Yes,
well.
it's refreshing and it has some digestive,
Mhm.
impact and things like that. And a lot of people don't like to drink water.
I know, it's whenever I hear about that, it's so weird to me.
Well, I'm one of them.
Like, "Oh, you don't? You don't like to drink water?"
Unless
Well, you do drink it, but you just
now,
don't like to.
now
Okay.
I always drink cucumber mint water.
Oh, it's only the cucumber mint, though?
It's the little bit of flavor that helps me
Mhm.
really like drinking water. Other than that, I'm not really not into water, but with my business, I have learned the power of
Mm,
water.
yes.
And so, and I did experience fainting, and it
Oh,
ended up being from
from
dehydration.
yeah.
So I had to change my mindset
Mhm.
about hydration. And when I started drinking cucumber mint water, it was the solution for me.
Nice, nice. I'm glad you found a solution
Me too.
and not just like, I'll do it when I get to it."
Yeah, no.
'Cause I've heard people who have told me that they don't drink it. Not even, like, the fact that they don't like it. They're just like, "Oh, I don't drink water."
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
"How do you not drink water?"
I heard something about the capacity, your mental capacity depreciates with just 3% loss of hydration.
Wow, I never
So
knew about
so
that
when
one.
we're walking around talking about we're in a fog or I can't remember this or
Mhm.
different things like that, you could start at hydration.
Start with your hydration level.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. I didn't know that one because I personally, I sometimes suffer from migraines,
Mhm.
and normally if I feel one coming on, that's the first thing I think about. Or actually, that's the first thing I grab. I don't even really think about it. I'm just like, "Oh, I'm feeling a little pressure. Let me get my water."
Yes.
That's always the first thing, and then after water, I try to go to, like, fruit.
Good.
But, yes, water is very important, people. Water is very important for all you people out there who are like, "I don't drink water." You need it. You don't wanna accidentally faint like Miss Hope here, and I hope that wasn't a too scary of a situation.
It was. It
Was it,
was.
were you at the spa at the time, or
Actually, no, it was following my 1 month bout with COVID,
Mm.
and
Oh, you
it
had a
was
whole month fight with it?
yes,
Wow.
and I was not sick,
Mm.
I was exhausted, that was my symptom.
Mm.
Literally breathing made me tired.
Hmm.
The
Maybe from
thought
your body trying to fight off everything and
I
then
don't
trying to
know
just
because
live.
I didn't feel sick, so I
Yeah?
didn't feel like I was fighting anything. I just felt like I had absolutely no energy. Even to turn myself over in the bed was just like so exhausting.
Oh,
To go to the bathroom, I would just look at the bathroom and just look at it
wow.
and look at it until I couldn't.
Like, I ain't gotta go that bad yet.
Right. And the thing is, when I had COVID, it was still in that, time dispensation when they wanted us to stay quarantined, so I had
Mm,
nobody at my house to help me,
mhm,
and so the
mhm,
dehydration that I experienced really came from me not having the energy to get up to go to get water and things like that,
mm,
and when I finally felt good enough to come out, I was on my way to the doctor, but wanted something to eat. Stopped at a place. It was typical Phoenix. I think it was 110 degrees outside. I got outside, got in a line, and I started I started seeing dots.
Mm.
My arm got tingly,
Ooh,
and within a few minutes, I was down.
you're just out.
I was down. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, that it happened, but at least you were in line and there were some people around that
Yes.
they kind of came to your aid.
Well, yeah, they cushioned my fall. That was
Oh, they even
probably
cushioned you. Okay.
well, I knew I was going, so I kinda went into them. Yeah,
Like trust fall.
yeah, but, it was very scary. I didn't know that it was dehydration,
Hmm.
but when I got to the emergency room, which, um, at first I was just gonna go home.
Hmm.
But I did get home and I thought about it, and I said coming out of COVID and just feeling like it was exhaustion, but do I really know it was exhaustion?
Hmm.
So I better go to the emergency room. And I went to the emergency room and they said to me, they took some blood and things like that. And they came back and they said, something's, did you know something's going on with your kidneys? And I was like, no. And they related all of these tests that they started doing to dehydration.
Dehydration.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's great. Well, at least you figured it out and now you can work on it instead of it just being like, oh, yeah, I just went home and I don't really know what happened to me.
Right, and I went home and I made up my mind. The water component of my business had always been really important,
Hmm.
just because I didn't care for water. So,
Hmm.
w with the service that they're getting, they could possibly sweat
Hmm.
because it is a steaming process. So with that, I want to be responsible as a business owner and provide them water.
Hmm.
So, because I don't care for water. I started drinking cucumber mint water. I started giving it to my clients. They love it. So I feel better knowing that after their service and during their service that they are getting some hydration, and if they're drinking water, I'm drinking water. So
Nice, nice. Yes. And like she said too, that 110 when we're in the summer, make sure you're staying hydrated. That's how we get these lost hikers and stuff like that in the
yes,
summertime because they're out there hiking and they're not taking in that water.
they're usually non-Phoenicians though.
Yes, that too. They're not used to the heat and they're not taking in the water.
They don't know
Hmm.
that when they go on those hikes.
They're gonna sweat half their weight off.
Yes, and within 10, 15 minutes, they need to hydrate. You can't just take 1 bottle.
Yeah, yeah, no, not at all. Don't take no little 12-ounce, 16-ounce. Nope, nope. You need to have like at the least like a 32 or a
Yeah,
40 or something like that,
and if you take
preferably
your
like a
dog,
gallon.
take some for your dog.
Yes, take some
Yeah,
for the dog as well.
yeah,
Yes, yes. So we're gonna get into our next little segment real quick before we get into your introduction, and we're gonna get into your
absolutely.
business because I want to get into this because it's something new to me and I hope we do have the ladies viewing in today. Not only the ladies, but it pertains to the ladies a little bit more, but it does help men as well. But the next segment that we're getting into is asking the masses. So this is a segment where I ask a question and we can all revisit it and answer it later. But it's also for the viewers if they want to chime in or if they want to just answer it for themselves. So I have two questions today asking the masses. The first question is, do you have any traditions or rituals that you practice in your household that isn't really common? Because I'm not sure how common your practice is in the whole world, but
Mhm.
to me, it's a very uncommon thing. I had no idea about it until I heard about it until I started talking to you.
So what was the
So,
question?
do you have any traditions or rituals that you practice in your household that isn't really common?
Any traditions?
Yeah, traditions or rituals. Because technically, I don't want to give away too much before we dive into it, but this is an ancient
Yes.
ritual that Miss Hope provides to her customers.
So
So that's
you saying you're asking them if that your family do or you do personally?
either or because some people may be single, so that's why I tried to say household. So if you're a single person and you don't really have a family, if it's something you do, or if you're a family and you guys might do something together, maybe you don't celebrate Christmas, but you celebrate it a different way, or you have your own makeup of it, or a certain type of prayer or something like that, or I'm not sure how common is saying grace before dinner nowadays. Like it could be
Right.
anything. And then question number 2 is, do you think it's important to be familiar with ancient traditions and rituals? So that's question number 2. Do you think it's important to be familiar with ancient traditions and rituals? And then the first question was, do you have any traditions or rituals that you practice in your household that isn't really common? So I'll let you guys marinate on that for a little bit, as well as we will, and we'll revisit that at the end if either of us want to drop any information on those questions. But now we are at that point. So I would like to officially introduce you guys to Miss Hope. She is the owner of Sitting Pretty V Suite. It is a V steaming or yoni steaming or vaginal steaming suite spa, right? It's a spa, right? Is what it's considered?
Either or,
It is
it's a self-care environment, so you can go either way, but the building itself, I just call a suite
a suite.
because of how I, intentionally designed it.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So, like she said, it could be referred to as a suite or a spa, but out of respect, I'm gonna call it a suite from now on.
Very good, very good.
So we have the Sitting Pretty V Suite, and let's figure out how this got started. So what was it that got you interested into the yoni steaming or the vaginal steaming for your business?
Well, actually, February, this is my 4th year in business. I'm celebrating
Congratulations!
4th year. Yes.
Congratulations!
And, yeah, I'm excited, that, this came about in a very odd kind of way.
Hmm.
I was in bed one night, and my daughter and her friends were preparing to go out, and they were girl chattering and things like that, and I heard them mention bee steaming.
Hmm.
And, I like to at least know what my children, especially,
Hmm.
are talking about engaging in. But as a woman, I'm really interested in what's on the minds of young women.
Hmm.
So I Googled it, and literally, it was like a spiritual moment for me.
Hmm.
I became just I became obsessed with the information.
Just dove right in to
Dove
the
in.
rabbit hole
I was up for about
head
5
first.
hours,
Oh, nice,
just
nice.
pulling in information, and I think the biggest caveat to that moment was, let's see, I'll be 62, so I was 58 at the time,
Hmm.
and here was this women's womb health care that I had never heard of.
Hmm.
And I struggled a lot with my womb health
Hmm.
throughout my whole life. Horrible, heavy periods, painful periods, fibroids, things like that. And not one time had anyone ever mentioned to me this vaginal steaming yoni care as a solution,
Hmm.
a holistic solution to these problems. I had, through my years, I call it the 3 Ps,
Hmm.
always heard of a pill
Yep.
or a procedure.
Mhm.
I forget what the 3rd is right now, but I'll remember it. But, it's I was just really overwhelmed with the information, and I was devastated at the same time because I
Mhm.
had had a traumatic relationship with my womb because of my womb history.
Mhm. Mhm. And this never popped up in
Never.
58 years.
Never, never.
Never.
And, my journey was, I started my cycle very early, well, 9, and, by the time I was 16, I was on the pill to regulate,
Mhm.
so they say. But what happens is the pain gets regulated. It does not
Mm.
necessarily go away. Your mindset becomes prepared for it to come because
Mm.
you're scheduled now because of the pills.
Mm.
Mine did not go away.
So just kind of get you prepped.
That's
Get
it.
ready to get ready.
Right. So, then when I had, children, um, I had some difficulties. I had a history of fibroids, things like that. And it was a traumatic relationship with my womb. Um, Outside of it being the provider of my children, and I tell my clients there's usually 3 times that a woman is really bonded and conscientious of her womb. And one of them is when you're, as a woman, you never want to have an odor. Never.
Right.
And so you're conscientious of your cleansing practices. Um, the second is when you find out that you're pregnant. And I'm talking literally, if you want a baby and you find out you're pregnant, suddenly that woman's walking sway back. She's got her hand across her stomach. You're like, knock it off, girl. You can't even see your bump yet, you
Right.
know?
You're 3 weeks. Come on, calm
Right,
down.
right. And then the third time is when you find that mate, that certain special person, you know, you're conscientious of, because you're experiencing something pleasurable, you're experiencing something that's bonding, and it's a spiritual exchange. So those are 3 times that women are really more in tuned with their womb health. But normally it's just like brushing your teeth in the morning. It's just a thing you do. It's a thing you have. But it is an emotional center. It reacts. We know it reacts.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
As adults, at least. Adults know all this.
Right. And one of the ways that I, you know, can tell you absolutely positively for sure that that it reacts is when you see somebody or smell somebody or hear somebody's voice that you are attracted to or have that relationship with. It might get wet, it might throb, it might twitch, but it reacts.
It reacts,
It
yes.
reacts. So we know it is a reactive center to the upper, I call this is your brain, this is your upper heart, this is your lower heart. So that heart reacts. So
Definitely.
with all of that, I want I became very intrigued by the fact that, not knowing not just the health side of it, I didn't understand the emotional side tied to the womb and my functioning day to day, my womanhood, my femininity, my career. Um, there's so many components of the emotional center that are affected by your reproductive center. Yeah.
Awesome. So that's how you got into the business, and you started the sitting. Oh, I missed it. And that's how you started the Sitting Pretty V Suite.
Yes.
But let's back up a little bit, because I
Okay.
wanted to get that in and let people know your background and why you went this route with your business as an entrepreneur. But now, for all the people who are like, I still don't know what yoni steaming is,
Okay.
or vaginal steaming is. So what does your business actually provide? Like, what is the process, and what are the benefits and things like that?
Well, yoni steaming is, as you mentioned earlier, it's been around for, we know, over 1,000 years. It's women do the process all over the world. Uh, Here in the United States, it's likened to a sitz bath. So a sitz bath is when I had my first child in 1983. Um, After you got your stitches and everything like that, they would give you a sitz bath to help you heal. And what it was is you would sit over this little toilet that had, and they would give you warm water and some Epsom salts to spray on your stitches to help you heal. Um, when I had my second child, they weren't doing that anymore. And I was really upset about it because it was comforting, it was soothing, and I do believe it helped with the healing process. But because of how the medical industry was changing, you didn't have LPNs and things like that in the room to help the nurse. They eliminated the whole process. But what happens is you sit on over something that is similar to a toilet. Not at sitting pretty though. You sit on a throne.
On a throne. Beautiful pink throne with
They're
a
white.
crown
They're
or white.
white.
Oh, I'm
They're
sorry.
white.
Sorry. The background.
The background.
Okay,
The wall
sorry.
is right. The wall is pink. But you sit on something similar to a toilet. So in some countries, you'll just find a three-legged chair with a hole in the center, and warm water, a pot is placed up under it, and then herbs. I see right here the Moss Boss paperwork, and I see burdock root and things like that. Depending on what the end goal is of treatment, herbs were placed inside. So, as with anything herbal, you're treating. You're helping someone with an issue. So, as I said, knowing the problems I had with my cycle and throughout my womb history, I was really pressed to know how could I help? How can I help? And I decided to move forward. And it's really that simple. You sit over a warm pot of water, and it should be comfortably warm. That's something I really want to clarify and stress. It is not steam from the perspective of hot.
Like steam, not
It's
like
an
boiling hot.
infusion. It should be comfortable. I have clients that have had orgasms while steaming. Because it's pleasurable, because it's just a gentle moisturization process, but the herbs do infuse the tissue.
Oh, nice. And let's go into her video real fast.
Okay,
Can
no
you
problem. We're gonna
introduce
take a
that
little
real
break,
fast?
and
Oh, I love
we're
my
gonna.
video.
We've got a nice little gift Miss Hope provided us with. We have a nice little Sitting Pretty V Suite promo ad. So hope you guys enjoy the video that she has provided for you guys, and we're gonna roll right into that. And we are back. I hope you guys enjoyed that little promo ad for the Pretty V, or Sitting Pretty. Sorry, I almost said it wrong. Sitting Pretty V Suite.
Yeah, man. That seeing the promo and getting the visuals gave you a better idea of what you were talking about and explaining and everything. It's very luxurious. You know what I mean?
Right? It looked nice, right?
It's very nice. You know
Royalty.
what I mean? Yeah, you definitely treat people very, very well. The place is very inviting. You would definitely want to, get your lady the treatment and then send her to something like this, because it's, it seems like it's very, very nice, man. It's, it's something I've definitely never heard of before.
Me either.
This
That's
moment.
why I'm excited about this episode.
But you got to try new things, and especially I think that with all the chemicals and everything that everybody is shoving up there, whatever, and us too as men, I mean, with the things that we're using. And I think people need to open their eyes to different things. So I'll be helping to get the word out. I'll tell my lady about you, you know what I mean? And I hope others would do the same.
Yes. Awesome. And then on that note, we're actually going to go into, we're going to go into our next segment called Wealthy wisdom. So I know Miss Hope dropped a lot of knowledge for you guys, but for all these people who are kind of on me and Dip's level, and this is all brand new for us, we're just gonna go over some information. And if you have anything to add, feel free to add or correct or anything, because I did some research and went on some websites. So who knows? Sometimes Google is just talking to talk. But this information comes from holisticcareforwomen.com. And I'm going to start off with what is yoni steaming? And then it says, well, according to Merriam-Webster dictionary, the word yoni means a stylized representation of the female genitalia that in Hinduism is a sign of generative power and symbolizes the goddess Shakti. I hope I said that right. In the Sanskrit language, it means adobe, source, womb, a sacred space, or vagina. Yoni steaming is also called vaginal steaming, V steaming, and herb steaming in Western culture, an ancient healing practice with roots from the classical period in Greece to Asian countries as a form of self-care, believed to help heal the womb after childbirth. Southern and Central American cultures have also promoted vaginal steaming as a healing remedy to repair damaged tissue. Does all that sound about right so far?
So far.
Okay.
Except for Greece. I would say not Greece, because as I mentioned earlier, there's one piece of visual information, and it appeared to be maybe a pharaoh.
Oh,
and
Egyptian.
Yes.
Okay.
With females around him with the fans and everything like that, the beautiful garb, and he was steaming. So, with that said, men steam for prostate health, prostate detoxing, lifestyle, and for hemorrhoids.
Oh.
So,
see, I told you guys, it's not just women. I mean, it's predominantly women, but it's not just women.
Right. Well,
so Dip, when we gonna go? When we gonna go?
It's just men just women that care about these things. We need to start caring more and being more open about these things.
We gonna go together, Dip?
You can bring your ladies. Listen,
right. I'm just joking.
Listen. No, don't just joke. I have couples.
I mean, I'll try it, but I mean, I was like, me and you wanna go?
Right.
Hold my hand while we go.
No, I have couples that come, and then that's really powerful.
Yeah.
When I have couples come in, and because the steaming process, when people don't know what it is, so maybe you've experienced a facial, or maybe you were at the barber and they put that hot towel around your face, and so that warmth and that heat is in there opening up for release.
Okay, so it's the same concept.
So it's the same concept.
Okay.
And you add the herbs in, and that's when the more going focused towards whatever the issues are, that's when that comes in. But you can steam with just warm water. You can steam with Epsom salts. You can steam, with different herbal things.
And I am kind of interested. I mentioned it to my girlfriend, and she said that she had been interested in it, but she just hasn't found the time or anyone that knows anything about it. But she said that she heard about it before, because she was the first one. When I started doing the research on the company, I was like, what is this? And I was like, Jess,
right.
You ever heard of this before? What is this? She's like, oh yeah, that's who you're gonna interview. I'm like, yeah, I have no idea.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to play the video, because the visualization of what people think it might look like, that goes all kind of places.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, some people think I have a little wand, and
I was thinking more of a bidet.
Oh, okay.
Like a bidet kind of
thing. Like the bidet toilets in France and Europe.
Well, it is similar to that. If the bidet was just shooting out some nice warm steam, it would be.
Or mist or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. And see, also too, like I was kind of thinking, not necessarily extreme, but I'm glad you pointed out that it's not an uncomfortable heat, because that's where my mind was kind of going. Like, how warm is this? How really hot is the steaming? Because it's pretty sensitive in the vaginal area, So I was kind of not concerned, but curious. I was kind of curious about that.
Well, the tissue is sensitive, and if something hurts you, you're not going to do it consistently.
Definitely.
Not that.
Yeah.
And
Unless it's hitting the
so,
gym.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So, the industry has some negative um, conversations that go on about it, and
Mhm.
some of it has to do with if they get burned.
Mhm.
I mean, you don't want to be burned on what you sit on, walk the motion, all of
Mhm.
that. That's
Yeah.
that's real painful.
Mhm.
So just like when I describe it to some people, I say it's just like back in the day when grandmother would get that boiling pot of water when you had that chest congestion. She would throw a little
Mhm.
Vicks salve in there and put your head over that towel. Or even some people use their steam from their bathroom. They just turn
Mhm.
on the shower on hot and they just let the steam do its work.
Mhm.
The steam will do its work. You do not have to have heat, but typically we either up the ante on the herb, like when
Mhm.
your doctor says take a teaspoon of
Well,
cough drop.
tablespoon be
And
alright.
there you go. Yeah. So it is a medicinal treatment. So you have to be conscientious and knowledgeable about what you're doing. It's
Mhm.
not just going out there willy-nilly. And so when women started doing it, Western culture, and not using it from the perspective of knowledge from generational use,
Mhm.
it started going kind of wacky.
Mm.
And so it got a bad
And
reputation
that's
for a
when those
while.
mistakes were happening,
Yes.
and people were like, I burned myself."
Yes.
Like, "Well, why are you sitting over 120-degree water?"
There you go.
Like, bring it down a notch. And I'm glad you brought up that there is some, pushback in the, I don't wanna necessarily say pharmaceutical, but,
It's the medical
the
industry.
medical industry, yes, because I had that in, the Wacky Wealth segment
Okay.
today. So, there was these 2 ladies that were, oh, I thought I put the website down, but I didn't. Shoot. I was trying to make sure that I was representing correctly, but I forgot to put the website on this one. But so this says, from OBGYN nurse practitioner, Morris Huffman at Viva Eve. She said that there is merit to holistic medicine, but exposing the vagina, one of the most sensitive areas of the body, to steaming is potentially harmful, is what she said. Also cautioning women in the use of vaginal steaming. Viva Eve board certified genealogist or
Gynecologist.
gynecologist, yeah, sorry. I'm American, I was trying to sound it out. Doctor, dang, I'm probably gonna mess up her name too. Nithya
Why even try?
N-I Dr. Gopal, we'll just skip the first name. Dr. Gopal said some of the worst burns occur as a result of steam,
Mm,
much more than touching boiling water or fire because it has a much stronger penetrative power than just
mm,
liquids. Dr. Dr. Gopal finds steam to be dangerous to the vagina for reasons beyond burns. Most women believe that by washing their vagina, they are cleansing their bodies and eliminating harmful bacteria. However, the vagina balances its pH naturally, so when a woman washes too much or adds a lot of moisture from steam, for example, it's going to cause infections. And that was for the Wacky Wealth. It was just weird to me that I read all this good stuff while I'm trying to do the research, and then boom, we got some Karens.
Not Karens. Well, what they're saying does have it's valid to a
Mhm.
degree.
Yes, especially after what you were saying about how we kinda just were like, "Let's just try this out. I don't really know what I'm doing, but Imma
Yeah.
try yoni steam at home myself," and it makes it so much more understandable why they're saying this.
Yes.
But
Yes. And like I likened it to medication. We tend to always think a little bit more is a little better
mhm,
or it'll work faster and things like that. And you don't want to do that.
mhm,
You want to stay consistent with the formulation, the time frame for what the end goal is, things like that. There is a formulation to the process, how long you're going to steam for, what the herbs are that are there. And at Sitting Pretty V Suite, what we do is we do something that's generally different from most V-steaming businesses, and that is that we stay in the room with our clients.
Okay.
In most situations, the facilitator leaves you to your privacy. At Sitting Pretty V Suite, we do not practice that for multiple reasons, and the two main reasons are if the heat is too much for you, because it's just like when you take a shower. Some people like a lukewarm shower, some people like a warmer shower, some people like a hot shower. So I don't know your skin sensitivity to heat. So I want to be there to monitor you. I'm watching everything. I'm watching to see if you're twitching around and things like that. Because a lot of times, because people are not familiar, they won't just say, wait a minute, this is hot. They feel like because of the word steam, it's supposed to be hot. So I'm watching them. So I'm constantly, me and the other facilitators, Kayla and Asia, they work with me. They are constantly, we're watching and we're saying, are you okay? And if they do say, well, it feels a little warm, we naturally adjust. But we're not there to cause anybody any harm. That's the first perspective. And then the other is because of the steam, because of the softening of the tissue and the release, a lot of times clients release emotional. They go through a purge. Some of them come in and they're just like, oh, I saw this on the Housewives and I wanted to do it and blah, 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 blah. And they come in all perky and then they start steaming and I see it.
You just see
I
it
see
coming
it.
on the face change.
And they're like looking, and maybe sometimes a tear will just fall. Or sometimes they'll go, am I supposed to be feeling emotional? So if I leave the room and I really care about you, now you're in there by yourself. I've had women just come out and talk about being raped, being molested, having a child by their uncle, and the family basically defecting her and her child.
That's wrong.
And if you're not there to love on them and tell them, this is not your fault, it's okay, I'm here for you, then it starts a process of healing. The purging starts a process of healing. And it helps in so many ways. It helps the way with the way they relate in their relationship to their man, because these things could be suppressed, well, to their partner. These things could be suppressed. And your partner doesn't know why you say you love me so much, but you always hesitate. You're holding back. Where's that coming from? Well, some of it is probably womb trauma. Being suspicious, things like that. It's really important to be there for us. That it's not just a lower heart care system, but it is also an upper heart. We're there for you. I have great relationships. Yes, I have great relationships with my clients.
Like losing sleep 3 days in a row.
Yes. Yes.
And being there for your client, which is a beautiful thing. I don't want to put her information out there, but that I love the fact that you kind of let me know that a little bit. That's a beautiful thing. And I love the fact it sounds weird after you explain it that way, that there are places that practice it opposite of that they just leave you alone, because I kind of feel like, in a sense, it could be a traumatic experience, because if you have no idea, like you're saying, if someone walks in, they're like, oh yeah, I just heard about it on Housewives, I just wanted to try it out, and then all of a sudden you're just being hit by all these emotions and just going through it, and you're by yourself.
Yes.
Like, that could be traumatic, because you got all these questions and no one's there to answer them, and you just alone. Like, you know what? For being there for your clients.
Oh, thank you.
On more than just a self-care situation. You're trying to do a whole care experience.
It's the love. It's the
Mhm.
love factor. Women need to love each other. They need to love each other. They need to love themselves, and they need to know these things so that they can be better mothers to their daughters and their sons from the perspective of the knowledge they now have about the womb.
Mhm.
It's not just the box or what else they call it now. They call it all kind of
All
things.
kind of things. I don't know. I don't usually put a name on it. I mean, it is what it is. It's vagina. I mean, when I was younger, I used to use the P word, but I don't really use that anymore. I'm
Okay.
older now.
Okay.
But just real quick for you viewers out there, I got a little question for you. Do you guys enjoy healthy snacks? I know it's a little bit of a left turn, but if you head if you do, head to our website at www.habarientertainment.com and click on the Naked Truth. Not sure if you guys can see that. The Naked Truth
Naked nutrition.
or oh, I'm sorry. I don't know where Naked Truth came from because we're talking about the Naked Truth right now. Naked Nutrition, where they have a bunch of stuff. Right now we have some cookies on the desk, but they got plenty of other things like protein powders, B12 bars and stuff like that. If you click on the banner on the website, though, you can browse the selection, and if you purchase through there, you get a
15% off your first purchase.
15% off your first purchase. So we would really appreciate if you guys check that out. But in the meantime, we're getting back to Miss Hope. So I have we already went over no, we didn't touch too much on the benefits, did we?
No, not really, but benefits could be I have had clients that haven't had periods in years get their periods back after one session. Um, it helps with moisturization. It also does help like as on the WebMD or whatever that was that you
Mhm,
were citing, help with bacterial infections, things like that, yeast infections, menstrual cramps, things of that nature. But at Sitting Pretty, our greatest achievement has been I had a young lady that was driving up from Vegas,
mhm,
and she had a daughter, 7 years old, had never taken birth control ever,
mhm,
and just was not getting pregnant.
mhm.
And she came 4 times to Sitting Pretty, and we have a baby.
Awesome,
Oh,
awesome. Congratulations wherever you are if you see this. I almost said it to you, but it's not your baby. So
No, it's well, kinda.
well, yeah, I mean you helped technically.
Whenever I feel a little defeated, because entrepreneurs go through that,
Mhm,
the ups and downs. That's the first place I go to is I was a vessel to help someone,
mhm.
their
Yeah.
family grow.
mhm.
Yeah, that's a big one, a big one.
Yeah.
And
So
that's what I would like to help with people here with Wealth for Generations. Not necessarily grow your family in the sense of helping one get pregnant because I'm not sure if wealth can do that unless you're paying for procedures. But I'm about trying to make sure that you guys are okay, you know? Got to take these certain steps for your self-care. Make sure you have your self-care. Make sure you guys are making correct steps to build that generational wealth for the next generation and get some wealth for yourself in the meantime, you know? So we're going over all of it at Wealth for Generations, where we are planting seeds for our seeds. That's the big thing right there. So I had one more question about the vaginal steaming. About how long or how often should you do it? Because I've heard you say some people have done it a couple times. Some people have been coming to you for years.
So it really does depend on the end goal and what the symptoms that may be present. So
Mhm,
everyone fills out an intake questionnaire, and the intake questionnaire kind of tells us where we're going with this.
mhm,
So if someone has no issues at all, they're just doing it to bond with their womb, just to feel relaxation as a method of self care, then the whole process is based around the menstrual cycle. So
mhm.
you don't steam 3 days before, you don't steam 3 days after, and you don't steam while you're on your cycle.
Okay.
So other than that, you're free to steam. There are
Mhm,
people that steam at home once a week, once every 3 or 4 days. If they feel like they feel some emotional things happening in their womb, they will steam. So there is there is a contraindicator time frame, but
Okay.
other than that, you can steam as much as you like. However, you can't stay on the steam as much as you like because there's herbs involved, and water can do the opposite of moisturization and cause dryness. So there is something there too.
So there's a how should I say, each session, there's
Yes,
a time limit to each session, but there's not necessarily a limit to how many sessions you can
exactly.
have. Just as
Exactly.
long as you're in that 3-day period and not
Yes.
during.
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. That does answer my question. And then or actually you answered that. You said during the cycle you shouldn't.
No.
Um
The cycle and pregnancy, you
and
can
pregnancy.
steam in the late phases of pregnancy to help the cervix soften, but you
Mhm,
really got to be careful at
mhm.
that time.
It's gonna be like really short sessions or something like
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Okay, because you don't wanna mess up the baby or anything,
No,
or
you don't
could
want
it
to
affect the baby? I mean,
no, not necessarily the baby. You could trigger the baby
oh, the
coming, the
oh,
childbirth,
I didn't know. Oh,
because you're
okay.
softening the cervix.
Oh, okay, so just because it's so soft, it could
The
start.
stimulation could get going there.
Mm, hmm. So I'm glad I did go through with that question
Yeah.
then. So then if there were a best time, what would that time be? Like, does it matter? Is it a more beneficial to do it before the cycle or after the cycle? Or, like, would it be more beneficial to do it right after your pregnancy? Or would it be more beneficial for, well, I guess it kinda comes down to what you're looking for,
There
right?
you go.
Yeah,
There
because
you
I was
go.
just thinking about the lady who was pregnant. It was definitely more beneficial for her to do it before the pregnancy because she was looking to get pregnant.
Pregnant, right. So that was the goal with that. If you do have a facilitator that you feel confident enough, you can do it right before childbirth,
Mm,
or you can do it after you stop bleeding to do a complete detox. A lot of people don't understand the brownness that women tend to see when they start their cycle is old blood. That means they did not have a complete good period.
mm.
So if that's what you're having, we wanna get in there, and that's what we're looking at.
Make sure to get it all
Yes,
out so you
yes,
can have a full one the next time, or
yes,
at least that's what I assume.
yes.
Okay, okay. Sorry, I'm new to that part.
You're doing
I'm new to
good.
that stuff. But, I believe we are getting kind of on time. Oh, what did I do? I accidentally went off my outline for
Well,
a
while
second.
you're doing that, I just wanna say at Sitting
Yes.
Pretty V Suite, it's a very, intentional experience. You're gonna get your cucumber mint water. We are playing music. I even say, if you wanna hear whatever you wanna hear, just tell Alexa, because I am building an environment for comfort. So you're gonna see something, hear something, smell something, feel something, and we're gonna love on you at Sitting Pretty V Suite. And my little tagline is a healthy V is a happy V.
Right, right.
Yeah,
So I'm looking forward. You looking forward to this dip? We're gonna have some lavender smells, some Little John in the background, and get our steaming on with Miss Hope.
absolutely.
Yeah, man. Hey, I hope nothing but best luck for you and your business. And I see that you are dedicated. I want to ask how long you said you've been doing this. You've been 4 years. How long are you just doing this, or do you work also?
But yes, I am 2 years from retiring as a flight attendant. So
Wow.
so I do work.
Congratulations. Almost there, almost
Almost
there.
there, almost there. And as an entrepreneur, we go through all these things, and
Hmm.
it's difficult sometimes for me to be there. But I am really happy that I have one former client that came aboard.
Oh, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
so she
Yep.
she she takes it for me. She, does clients when I'm not available, and then I have someone that has been interested in things like Reiki and sound bowls and things like that that came, and now she's also assisting too. So you will be assisted. Right now for my anniversary month, I am offering a 40% off coupon,
Nice.
and
40%, she said, people.
yeah,
40,
40%.
not no
Yeah.
little
For
25.
4 years, 40%, and it's, the code is 2 hearts.
2 heart, like spelled out?
No, the number 2 and then hearts.
Number 2, then hearts. You guys hear that? 40% off. Promo code is the number 2 and the word hearts.
Yes.
Alrighty. But we're kind of getting kind of close. So we're going into my favorite segment of the show, which is We Buildin' Boy. So today on We Buildin' Boy, we would like to highlight, of course, Sitting Pretty v Sweet. So what this segment is it gives you the floor to promote the business. So if anyone is interested in contacting you and setting up a session or anything like that, you can provide the contact info if you have email or social media or anything like that. So I will step back and let you have the floor, Miss Hope.
Well, thank you so much. Again, as I mentioned, I do have a full-time job. However, 623-282-2755 is the phone number for Sitting Pretty. We get back to you as soon as possible if we do not answer. On the appointment setter, it does say if you don't see an appointment that works for you to call us. We are an appointment only suite. We do not take walk-ins, but we are there for our clients. I come in at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning to actually steam some people,
Oh, that's
depending on what's
dedication right
going
there.
on. We do parties.
Mm,
Girl parties. I have a bridal party going on Super Bowl weekend.
nice.
So we're there for women as a whole. So again, Sitting Pretty V Suite, we're at 3030 South Rural Road in Tempe, suite number 108. It's a lovely environment. The sunsets out the window are just absolutely
Oh.
amazing. And again, from a spiritual perspective, I have created an environment to just touch on all the senses and just show love. Some self-care is okay, but I'm about self-love.
Yes, yes. We need more love in the world. We really do. We really do. And so to be spread, not just be there, but actually
Yes.
spread the love. So just for the people who are halfway listening, what was that phone number again?
623-282-2755.
Awesome, awesome. And then you also have some just the Facebook, or do you have Instagram for it too?
Facebook and Instagram, and Google. You go on
Google.
Google, there's pictures right there, and the reviews on Google, I'm happy to say, are really, really good.
Yes, so for you review people, you can look her up on Google. But she's very responsive. That's kind of how we started our communication,
Yeah.
was through Facebook, and it was quick response. They're on top of it. I'm not sure if it was just you or if I was communicating with help as well, but the company itself was very prompt with replying with me. So if you guys are interested in getting any steaming, some vaginal steaming, and guys too, guys, we can do it too. So don't be shy. Talk to Miss Hope. She can help you out. Call directly because they do not have walk-ins. You have to make an appointment. And she did say they are willing to work with you if you don't see an appointment available.
Yes.
So closed mouths don't get fed. Remember that. And before we head out, for all those people that were halfway listening the second time, I like threes. So what was that phone number one more time?
623-282-2755.
All right, and that's number 3 for you guys. So I hope you guys will reach out to Miss Hope, and I think that we are going to be wrapping it up for the day. That is Wealth for Generations, episode number 32. Shout out to Mr. Irvin Magic Johnson, one of the greatest. And on that, or actually, I'm sorry, I forgot to give the applause. We're gonna
hit the button.
That's gonna be for Miss Hope right there for giving us your time. I really appreciate it. I know you're a very busy woman. And this one right here is going to be for my engineer of all engineers, Mr. Dip to the lean.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you coming through. We learned a lot today, and hope nothing but great things for you for the future.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. And last but not least, that one's for you guys. Thank you to all my viewers. I wouldn't be doing this if you guys weren't watching. So I really appreciate you, and I thank you for tuning in. And on that note, we out. Peace.